Thank you for listening to the Golden Hour Drip podcast with me, Logan Lee Miller. Enjoy the show. Okay, if you're watching on YouTube and I look a little tired or the background is definitely different than you're used to, that is because I got in from Kansas City. I'm now in Florida. I am so excited. Tampa, Florida to be exact. My very best friend, Andrew, and his beautiful wife live here in Tampa. And honestly, like, I've been to a couple different places in Florida, but I've never been to Tampa. Back in college, I went to Destin, Florida. That was great. That was fun. Spring break, if you will. And then two marches 2 years ago in March, I went and photographed a wedding in oh my gosh, it's actually on my shirt, Key West. Yeah, I went to Key West and I'm wearing the Key West shirt. I thought it was only fitting for being in Florida to wear a Key West shirt, right? Even though I'm in Tampa and not Key West, I thought, you know, what better way to look like I'm a local than to wear a busted, crummy shirt that says Key West, right? Like, it makes me look like a local. I don't know. Honestly, I am just happy to be here. And my flight had a little bit of a layover. I didn't have to get out of my seat. I didn't have to deboard the plane and reboard, but it was in Austin and it had me thinking, oh my gosh, like I'm welcoming travel into my 2024. And last year I got to go to a couple of really, really cool places. And I want the same and even better and bigger and more amazing places for this year as well. And it just had me reflecting on how amazing life has been lately and how grateful I am for the opportunities that have been bestowed upon me and that I'm able to, you know, come and hang out with my very best friends for a couple days. So I'm a little tired. Florida is also an hour ahead. So really it's not as late to them as it feels like to me. So that's a little problematic. Also, I was like on the plane from 5 until like 10:30, 11. Didn't get back to their apartment until like noon. I'm sorry, noon. I always try to say that. Until midnight, and then I didn't end up going to bed until 1. So I'm a little tired. I've actually restarted this podcast like 4 times because I cannot get my mouth to work properly. I am feeling the effects. I'm going to call it jet lag. I would just call it being busy. Oh my gosh, I knew February was going to kick my ass, but I didn't know it was going to be this hard, okay? I did not realize that it would be so much. And you know what? We are almost done with February, actually. Like, February 14th has come. It is now past. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. I hope that you had an amazing time. Thank you to everyone who came to our Galentine's Day event on Saturday. That was amazing. But to me, I'm like, oh, like Valentine's Day is done, especially because last Friday, Garrett and I celebrated Valentine's Day, not on Valentine's Day because I was flying to Florida. But yeah, that's like the hump of February. Once you're over that, then it's March, baby. Like, I've been seeing so many decorations for like St. Patrick's Day. I feel like Valentine's Day got switched so quickly this year. There was like Easter baskets already in all of the grocery stores, which was absolutely crazy. But yeah, January was a million days long and February is like a blink of an eye. So let's get into this week's episode of Ask Your Gal. No guest, just me today for this episode, but I have a guest for you next week, which is very exciting. So we have 3 questions that were submitted, and if you want to submit questions, you can email me at goldenhourdrip@gmail.com, or you can DM me at goldenhourdrip on Instagram. So let's get into the submissions. The first submission of today: how do you prioritize self-care when you have so much to do day to day? Working, cleaning, cooking, taking care of my loved ones, the dog, etc. I'm feeling burnt out. You know what? I think we're all feeling a little burnt out. And I was actually having a conversation with one of my friends last week, I think it was. If you're on the Golden Gal broadcast channel on Instagram for my personal page, Logan Lee Miller, I briefly touched on it and talked about it in the channel. But I was talking to one of my friends and she was feeling burnt out, and she was kind of at her wit's end, and she was wanting to do something so dramatic of quitting her job. She wanted to quit. She was like, I can't be working. I'm running around. She was like, my daughter needs my help. I'm always like having to leave work early to go pick her up or to do this or to do that. And she's like, I think I just like, I can no longer do it all. And she was feeling very overwhelmed. And I was like, this is common for this time of year. Oh my gosh, like January, February, March is horrible. First off, we get past the holidays and we are just kind of like reeling from all of that. We had a lot of energy that was given to others, right? We were running around then, and then on top of that, it ends. We have New Year's Eve and everyone wants to do goals, and they pile it on, and they're saying, oh, we should, you know, better ourselves and be so hot, and this is going to be the year we lose the weight and we have a better schedule. And it's like 0 to 100, right? And we only get like 2 weeks of downtime, or I think it's just a week, 25th through the 1st, right? If you celebrate Christmas, it's over, and then we go into, New Year's Eve. It's exhausting, and we don't get a proper rest from the holidays, really and truly. So it's normal to feel this way. And on top of that, the days are short, and the weather does have an impact on your mood. So when it is sunny out, we have a pep in our step. We have a release of endorphins. We're feeling better. We're feeling happier, and it really does impact your mood. In the contrary, to a day that is gloomy, it's a little bit overcast, it's not, you know, warm out, maybe it's a little cold. Those are the days that we don't want to do anything. We want to like hang out. We want to chill on the couch. We want to cozy up with a blanket. We want to do anything and everything but actually being motivated or productive, right? And with the shorter days, it can feel like we are waking up and it's dark out and we're going to work, and then when we come home it's also dark out and we don't get the time for ourselves. And burnout is like a strong word, right? Like when you are feeling burnt out, that your light is gone. Essentially that it like burnt out, the light is gone. You no longer feel like you are living. That like burnout, it's horrible. It strikes you at, you know, times where you are down. But really, I think that the root of burnout comes from not doing enough for yourself. Not doing things that fill you up. Not doing things that make you happy or feel good. And I've definitely run into this trap before where I'm feeling completely just crummy and not good. And just really, it's a bad feeling. So I sympathize with anyone who has been feeling this way. I felt this way before. I'm sure I will feel it again in the future. And the only thing that I have found that helps me combat it is doing and scheduling time for myself to paint my nails. Right now I've been practicing with dip. That has been insane. I've been puzzling in the mornings. And Garrett probably hates this, but I have a puzzle strewn out across our dining room table, and I puzzle. I put together the pieces and I drink my coffee. It's like 10 minutes. It's all by myself. I'm not doing anything besides focusing on the pieces at hand, and it gives me a sort of like alignment and centering of my mind, body, spirit, all the things. One of my goals for the year was meditation, which is literally doing nothing, right? Like, but it's hard. Like meditating is hard. Hey, I hope that you're enjoying today's podcast episode. Just a quick interruption to let you know that Golden Hour Drip has a weekly newsletter that comes out. This has bonus content, weekly updates, and future event information. If you haven't already, go down to the show notes, click the link, and join today. Now, back to the show. Because you cannot do everything for everyone, right? So it's still a difficult goal, but like it is to do nothing. And I think in order for us to excel and be our amazing top performer, 100% ball of energy, we have to have those moments of doing nothing so that we can fill up our cup and we can come back stronger than ever. So I don't know what support systems, dear reader, dear listener, that you have in your life, but I would start asking them to pitch in a little bit more, to take some things off your plate, even for a time being, until the sun shines, until you find yourself, until you figure out a new situation for your job or for your lifestyle or where you're at, or even the days, to just rely on your support system to give you a little extra help, so then you can move forward and feel good and feel a lot better and feel like you've been taken care of. Because really and truly, we all want to just feel cherished, and the only way that we can receive love is if we first give love to ourselves, right? So that we feel worthy. So yeah, just take a little pause, do something for yourself, and know that you are not going to feel this way forever. It will get better. I absolutely promise. So thank you for your question. The next one. Lately, I feel like every day is exactly the same as the last. Is there something wrong with me? Am I wasting my 20s? Help. Okay. This kind of ties into the winter woes and feeling kind of like Groundhog Day, right? Like it's the same thing every single day. And I really think the way to fix this is to do something you've never done before. And it can be as simple, and this is gonna sound crazy, I heard this the other day, but if you ever like have any anxious thoughts, if you're like, oh, did I unplug my curling iron, or did I lock the house, or is the garage open, like any thoughts like that, what was presented was, okay, do something out of your routine that breaks the cycle in your brain. So for the person, they said, okay, if you always worry, if you're about to go on a big trip, right, like to Tampa, Florida, and you think, oh my gosh, like I cannot remember if I locked my house, I don't want to feel this way, right? Or you're like, you know your patterns, because it's always good to recognize your patterns to then like combat against them later. So what was recommended was when you go to lock your door, to spin in a circle really quick and then lock the door. When was the last time you spun in a circle before locking your door? Never. Okay, so it's a disruption. Or even to throw your key up and catch your key and then lock the door. Or to like touch your toes and then lock the door. Like to do something that breaks the cycle. And obviously like you can't always spin in a circle because then you'll like get your days confused. But if you're going on like a long trip, or you're going on something that is going to cause some concern, right? If you're going on a date, you curled your hair, whatever it was, taking a photo of the curling iron, but whatever it was, it caused a disruption in their day-to-day routine, and they were able to think back on that memory quicker and easier and soothe themselves. So doing something different really does break the cycle of Groundhog's Day. So if you're feeling like every single day is the same, why don't you, let's say you're eating in front of the TV. That's something that like really bugs me. I hate eating in front of the TV. We need to eat at the supper time. Oh my gosh, what even was those words? This is where like you can tell I'm tired. But I hate eating in front of the TV. I prefer to eat at the dinner table. And that causes a disruption in my day, because now I'm like, it's not, oh, we just got supper and sat on the couch and turned on whatever was on, and it's like the same thing every day. But like when we get to eat at the supper table, when it's cleared off, when my puzzle isn't like completely all over, and then we feel so much better. Then I'm like, okay, we are able to sit and chat, and we're not you know, glued to the TV. That's a disruption in my day. Going for a walk, going outside, even if it's cold. We had a snowstorm like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I had been inside all day. I was cooped up, I was tired. I was like, what the heck is going on? Like, I'm not feeling well. I need to be outside. I cannot stand it. And that broke apart my day because it had been so cold, so dreary. I've not gone for a walk outside. It broke it up. And honestly, like, if you're feeling like every day is the same, what can you try new to help break that cycle? Because really what you're saying is you feel like every day is the exact same as the last. Write down what you're doing day to day. I wake up, I brush my teeth, I put my contacts in, I make a coffee. That is my day, okay? Then I go back and I make my bed, okay? The making of the bed stuff has been really hard lately, let me tell you. But if you're wanting to disrupt your morning routine, why don't you maybe have breakfast outside? Or you watch your favorite podcast while you eat, or you do something that's completely out of the ordinary that you never do. Maybe it's curl your hair. Maybe you haven't curled your hair in a long time. I know, and not today. My hair is just like blow dried flat. But 2 days ago, I curled my hair. I've not curled my hair for anything in so long. I was like, wow, like this feels so good. I'm glad to have my hair curled. Like, I feel better about myself. Gelling up your eyebrows, trying something new with your eyeliner, wearing, oh my gosh, this is my favorite thing. I used to, as a kid, I'm no longer aligned with this, is no longer me, but I'm a perfectionist in many ways. I don't like, that doesn't hold me back from trying, but like, I like things to be perfect. I like things to be just so. And it's taken me a really long time to like push through that and be like, I'm not going to allow that to hold myself back. Like, I am gonna just try and fail. But along with that, I would save things for the perfect day. Like, if I had, and I remember every single birthday dress I had in high school, I remember like very specifically like picking them out, having them. I only wore them on my birthday, and then I never wore them again, and I have them in my closet. But it had to be the perfect dress saved for the perfect day. My birthday, right? Like, what other perfect day than my birthday? Are you kidding me? But saving things for the perfect time. 2 weeks ago, Garrett and I went thrift shopping, and I bought some china plates, okay? I would want to see those china plates that are collector's items now, that are discontinued. And part of me is like, I want to save those for a perfect day. I want to save those for the perfect opportunity. But what better way to break the cycle than to pull those china plates out, or to pull that perfect birthday dress out, or the perfect outfit, or whatever that you've been saving for so long, and make today special. Break the cycle of it being Groundhog's Day and feeling like every single other day. How can you make it special? You don't have to wait for a special day. You don't have to wait for a special opportunity. You make the moment special. You make the day special. We only get one life, right? Like, and we don't even know how many days that we get. Make each day different in some little silly way. If you are feeling like you are just put on this earth right now to go to work and cash a paycheck and pay your debt, like, that is no way to live. Where can you find your passion? Where can you find the things that make you happy? Where can you find the things that put a little pep in your step and make you feel good about yourself? I will be pulling out my china plates anytime I want, even if it is to put a freaking Pop-Tart on him or pasta with sauce. Like, nothing even fancy, and I don't have to have a dinner table. I don't have to have it all nice and neat, but I can make it special. And anything that you have been holding on to and like putting away for that perfect time, now is the perfect time, especially with your days that are feeling like Groundhog's Day, because we never know what is gonna happen tomorrow. So we might as well enjoy today. Now I had 3 questions, okay, but we have run out of time. That's what I get for talking too much. I'm so sorry. If you want to hear the 3rd question, you'll have to come to our next Friday of Ask the Gals. Thank you so much for listening. I do want to apologize for last week's episode. I thought that I had uploaded it properly, but I recorded it, got it uploaded, and then I set the date for it to actually post incorrectly, which is really, really frustrating because it was Super Bowl Sunday and I had it recorded and edited. It was on YouTube, but it was not on Spotify or Apple Music or anything like that. So I am so sorry for that, but again, it was on YouTube. So if you've subscribed to our YouTube channel, you would have gotten the notification. And you know what? I just want to put that out there that we also record on YouTube. I don't, and usually when I don't have a YouTube episode up, I usually have, because I never not post on the, audio podcast. Usually that's up before the YouTube, and vice versa. Okay, so thank you so much for being a listener, and I really appreciate it. And I will see you next week. Bye.